All right. So in a recent YouTube comment, it was actually pointed out to me that I never recorded my solutions to the 12 extra puzzles that are available after you finish the main set of puzzles in the game. And the reason for that is that I simply forgot to record the solutions. So this is as good a time as any to just play these real quick. And I have to admit, my run of the original game was blind. I didn't remember all the solutions. Well, I knew most of the solutions, but I didn't go out of my way to play them once and then smoothly play them in the video. I just kind of went with my memory, and I thought it would be more interesting to show like the thinking process, because I actually had to think about the solutions. But for these puzzles, especially the later ones, they're so difficult that I thought it was probably a good idea to just record the solutions after figuring out how to solve them again, because otherwise I feared the video would be too long. So last night I played all of these puzzles, and as expected the first ones were fairly easy, but at some point I really had to stop and think very hard about the solutions. So yeah, this is the first one. This one is not so difficult. The trick is basically to first move this one to down here, and then you need to put this guy back in this little hole. You can push. Then you're basically you can do it. Really nice puzzle for its small size. Three blocks, not that many. Yeah. So I talked through most of the solution of that one. So this one, this is very closely based on one of the levels in the sandy area. And the problem with this is that it seems like you should just be able to put them in, but if you try, you will find that you'll get stuck in some kind of perpetual loop. So you need to do something to break the loop. That's basically the thing. And the thing is that you can do this. Excuse me. Yeah, so this somehow allows you to do stuff. Not that. Allows you to do stuff. For example, I need to think for a second what the idea was. I think maybe I just want to leave this guy here. No, I definitely want to fill up this spot right now. And how am I going to do that? Maybe like this. Yeah, this looks good. Suddenly we're done. Isn't that magical? I solved it. Alright, so this one is also very neat for its size. There's a lot of shuffling you have to do to get things moving a little bit. So first you need to get two of them down. Then this guy can come here. This guy overtakes it at the bottom. Then you kind of need to move stuff up, because you need to get the bottom ones of this rim before you fill up this. Right, and it's not entirely trivial how you would go about that. But it turns out you can do this. And you have them in this funny Z shape. And the three rightmost boulders, you can sort of shift them around like so. And then it's basically just completing the puzzle. There we go. Alright, so here we have a very funky looking puzzle. The trick is just to fill up this guy first, and then be careful about these last 3 goal locations. And filling up the first guy is actually fairly easy. You can just do that quite quickly. Alright, and now we need to be a little bit careful on how to do this, and there's I think 2 ways to do it, but this is my favorite way. You kind of put these 2 next to each other right there. Put this one in the middle spot, because you can see this last one is never a problem, but this one kind of is a problem, because it either has to come from this or from here. But if this is filled, yeah, but when this spot is filled, you can't really put it here anymore. So you need to do this first, and then he comes from that side, and this guy just goes like that. There we go. Ah, this one. This one is nice. Not too difficult, I think. What it basically comes down to is observing that this guy has to come down, and in order to do that, we're going to have to create a full walkway like this. So we kind of have to mess things up. We can put this one down. And now it's basically just walking around again. You can put this guy here, this guy here. The trick is to put this one up already, so when you move this guy down, this isn't stuck. I think that's the big trick there. Yeah, now you're basically just done. This guy has this kind of a similar layout with a thing here, having to push this guy down. But it's slightly different, because the way this is set up actually means that you can't have boulders down here. So you have to be a little bit more careful about your space management. But yeah, the premise is basically the same. This boulder needs to come down first. So you need to excuse me. You need to be able to walk around. Well, this turns out this suffices. You can push this one in both directions. Put it like this. So now you see, to get a boulder here, that's basically the main puzzle here. You need to be able to like push a boulder into this position, and then you need to be able to walk around to push it in there. But walking around is not so easy, because you don't really have a lot of space. So the idea is to put this one here, and then you have to move this guy, just so that the lower area is able to accept another boulder. And then you have more than enough space to push it in. And now, yeah, this is just filling up. The last 2 spaces. There we go. That's how you do it. So we're at puzzle 7. This one is fairly tricky. There's a lot going on for this small area. So you can kind of see a similar setup to a puzzle we saw earlier today. Right? You kind of get the same loop idea that we had just earlier. And yeah, you can push this guy up. Yes. And this guy over here. And you can kind of swap these. To put this guy here. And if you push it up, no. No, just leave it down there. And this guy, you have to push it here. I think. Maybe. So now this can go back. Oh yes, this is very good. Because I pushed this one down here, so now I can move it up. Now I have created a very big space to be able to move these guys off the wall, because that's kind of my main priority. You can see that in the final setup, these guys need to move off the wall, and now we have finally created all the space we need to achieve this. And now it shouldn't be that difficult to finish, but I still want to be careful in order to not mess up. I think you have to do something like this. Yeah, exactly. I solved it. Yeah, so the main trick to this one was creating enough space to get those two boulders off the wall. That's it. This one, another full 4-block puzzle, not to be underestimated. This one actually took me aback when I played it yesterday. There's a lot of subtle shuffling, and it all just works out. So that guy needs to go there. And you have to do this. And then... maybe not. No, maybe. I wonder if I'm gonna get stuck on this one for a second time. So what you can do is this. Right? If I move this one out of here for a second. I can move this here. So now I'm in a good position to get this guy out of his little place. Push it around like so. Push that one back. This here. Right, and now these two are in a good place to finish off the puzzle. Yeah, there's more going on than you might think. Ah, this one. Another variation of a puzzle that's in the sand world. I think this is the version that should have been in the game because it's better. There's a few added steps, some small variations on the logic. Let's see, so this guy has to go here. Alright. Now we're going to have to work a little bit to get this moving, so I guess this guy goes here. Is this correct? I guess it's fine. So you did it like this. Okay, this is starting to look decent. I guess you can just get this one down. That's just allowed. Now, the trick is that at some point you're going to want to push this one up, and then the boulder that's right here is going to go here. But then I don't really, I can't really walk up here. Like that path is just blocked. So the only way for me to escape after doing that is through this pathway right here. And then, but if this is blocked like this, and I'm going to have to put the boulders in such a way that I don't need this walkway anymore to come behind the boulders here and push them off. And in addition, I need to be careful that once I've blocked the lower area here, I also can't push boulders up anymore. So if we see that 3 boulders have to be above this line in the configuration that I need. Yeah. And it turns out I think there's only one way to do it, and that is I think this is exactly how I want them. Jesus. This is exactly how I want to have them. Now I can walk all I want. This is the lower one, which I can still come down. And then we just push these in. That's how I do it. Okay, so these last 3 puzzles are seriously very difficult. So this guy is very small, but there is a lot of things going on. There's a lot of stuff you have to do, and you have to take into account. There's just a lot of things. Okay, so how do we start? We start with putting this guy here. Then I think this is one of the best puzzles I've ever designed. This is not just a walkway. This is a very important additional place for storage. Because the first part of the puzzle requires you to push a block down there. Alright, so now that we've done this, we push this guy down. So now we get this guy out. We push these up, both of them. Now that we have two boulders down, we kind of move them and we put them here. Because this will leave us with just enough space to get around here and to push both boulders down. Not actually sure if I wanted to push that one down right away, but yeah. And now we need to finish up, and that is actually very straightforward. So this may have seemed simple, but it took me quite a while to figure it out again last night. But this is how you do it. That's it. Now this is the advanced version of one of the quite easy puzzles that's in the forest area. You need to put the boulders in a G shape, but only one boulder is off. You get some additional room, you get this little area, but this corner is cut. And it turns out that makes it extremely difficult to solve, and I even devised an even more difficult version of this puzzle, which I've never actually managed to solve by hand. I only know that it's possible because my computer told me that it was possible. But yeah, myself, I've never managed to do it. So yeah, I tried to solve this last night, and I used to know a solution, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was. So as I was fooling around, I actually came up with a different solution, which involved doing, I think, this. And this. And then I did things. Which I may or may not remember. I can recall doing something like moving these two over here. That's very important. For that I definitely need to open up this passage here. Which I can do, I think. Yes, so I would do this. Yes, I would do exactly this. And then I would put these guys to the wall. That's what I want to do. And then, so the advantage of that is that we have this walkway at our disposal, and now we can start filling up this side right here, these spots. We need to be a little bit careful that we actually get. Wait. Let's do this in a more clever way. Let's put this guy here. We need to be a little bit careful. We get this one out of the way when we do this. Okay, like so. And then this guy goes here. And for example, this guy goes here. Okay, so these three are just where they have to be. And now I need to fill up this side of the puzzle. And it's actually not that easy to accomplish. It took some thought when I was at this stage last night. Oh yeah, the thing was, this ball right here is in a very nasty spot, so I kind of want to get rid of it there. And it may look inviting to push it up because it's close, but it's actually better to push it down like this, because then you can do this and you're immediately done. So that's this one. This one might actually be more difficult than the last one. I'm not entirely sure. Because this is also one of the. So this is the last one, and this is probably also one of the best puzzles that I've ever designed. It's an advanced version of the penultimate puzzle of the snowy area. Even though it's a lot smaller, it's a lot more difficult. Even though the penultimate puzzle of the snowy area is one of the most difficult puzzles in the game. So the trick is this: there's a lot of tricks. First order of business is to get these two boulders, which are slammed against this wall here, just to get them out of there. And for that we have to push this guy up. No. Yeah, so there's sort of two areas. You have this area right here, and you have this little area right here with these two boulders, which you're going to have to juggle a lot. Right, so if you do this, you can walk. Oh yeah, so I want to push this one down, and then when I come around, right, I want to push this boulder off the wall to here, but I need to be able to walk around in order to not block off this area here. And it turns out you can just push this guy in already, and then you do this, so you can sneak through and not be completely blocked. And then this is a good idea, putting them all like this, because then you can also get that guy off the wall. So that was the first subtle sequence. Now the next thing you have to worry about is actually finishing the puzzle. And it may seem like you can these three blocks, you can just push them in, but it's these two that pose the real problem. Because as soon as you fill this up, you can't use this walkway anymore, and you can't really put these two blocks in this in the leftover space in such a way that you can take them out without using this walkway. So that's a very big problem that you might have. You might think, well, I'll just put them like this and I can walk, right? It looks like you should be able to take them out, but if you want, you have to push this guy like this, and you have to use the pathway to put it back to the left. So that's where the second trick comes in. And the second trick is to store one block in this area, because there is space to do that. So this like triangle configuration that I had a second ago, that's actually the only way to store 3 blocks in this area in such a way that you can take them out without pushing them back against this wall. So now that we have this, we kind of want to bring one of these 2 blocks. We want to bring them back into this area. But the triangle shape we had like blocks in the positions where I am in the 2 other places, and the block that comes from the top here can only occupy this spot right there. So this boulder that I'm pushing needs to move up. But with this guy here, how are you going to do this? And yeah, I'm already doing it. The trick is to put this one boulder right here in the exit condition hallway, so that you have enough space to push this guy out again. So that's, I think, the second trick. Then you can push it out. You can push this like so, and then you can come around. This is just a one-way passage like this, and now there's no difficulty left. You can just complete the puzzle. So you use this very cool triangle property to do this, and now yeah, there's no No difficulty left. It seems like we're going to complete the puzzle exactly at the end of the music. Yeah, so that's it. That was the extra puzzles. That's it. So I hope so if you made it this far in the game, congratulations. Excellent work. It's not easy. You did it. You completed all but 4, at most 4 of the main puzzles in the game. And then these extra puzzles are just an extra challenge to just have some fun. Not to think about the story too much. Just some extra Sokoban fun. And it's tricky. It's another challenge upon the challenge that the game itself poses. So yeah, here are my solutions. I hope this was useful in some way. And like I said, if you made it this far, excellent work. And I hope you enjoyed playing. And thank you for playing. And thank you for watching. Bye.